Another mistake people make while they're at a networking event. They don't take the initiative sometimes to introduce people to other people. So when you help other people meet other people by introducing them to people that you know or you've just met, this is a great way for you to accelerate meeting more people, provided your friends and your newly made contacts at the event do the same for you. Also, in case you happen to be in charge of helping to promote an event to your friends who attend, be sure to introduce them to the host. First, you come off as a professional, and the host will appreciate the fact that you're introducing your contacts to them and other people, and by doing this, you will be remembered. In the future, you've got yourself a supporter and a new friend the next time you return to that event. This is another great reason to have your own name tag on, just in case the event doesn't provide one. Those people introducing you can just glance at your name tag for a quick memory check on how to introduce you. Another thing to do is to remember and use someone's own story when introducing them to others. Hey, new person, I'd like you to meet my friend here. She just told me about her story, and I thought you should hear her story too, as it relates to your business. So-and-so, tell them about what you told me regarding your success with. So you're introducing people to people, bridging their story that they told you with this new person, and you're doing that throughout the room. You are practicing your storytelling techniques and talents, and you're making a great impression on people because they see you as someone who's, kind of popular. You get around the room. Wow, mover and a shaker. Another mistake that some people make, but it's important that we all remember, eye contact is important. Laser focused, like an eagle. Keep your eyes focused on the other person. A lot of distractions going on, a lot of noise. Don't be looking around the room. Focus. You compliment the person you are listening or talking to when you look them directly in the eye. Don't get distracted again with all the noise, all the people's conversations that's going on around you. The person standing in front of you deserves your full attention. Keep your phone in your pocket or your purse. Keep it on vibrate. Capture the moment and show respect for the other person talking to you. Because you're going to want them to listen to you, right? So we got to lead by example. Another mistake some people make at networking events: pay close attention to other people's body language. Sounds basic, right? Well, you can get to know someone without even talking to them by observing their body language. How they carry themselves while talking to others, their tone of voice, their pitch, the words they use, how well they listen, how they respect other speakers, and so on. Pay close attention. It's those little things that can help gauge whether you want to approach someone or how much information you're willing to give up about yourself. The same observations can also help to build rapport quickly or to accelerate conversation towards a mutual means of finding common ground and moving forward with a newfound business or personal relationship. So I'm just not talking about, do they look tired? Are they leaning? Are they, are they looking around the room? But that's something else too. But all these little things, again, words they use, tonality, things that they exhibit, physically or something, you can use that when it's your turn to come back and talk to them. That's cool. Another mistake that people make when they network: don't remain hostage to a dead-end conversation. And we've all been in those before. Consider putting a time limit on how long you'll listen to someone in your head, especially when the conversation holds no value for you. And I know we want to help other people, absolutely sure. We want to listen to them. But the last thing you want to do is to waste your time, and frequently checking your watch is not the way to go. If a person runs on and on with mundane comments, you need to take control of the conversation. You can do this without being offensive. So here are a few tips on how to escape a conversation you'd prefer not to engage in. I've done this before. I know it works. Number 1, jingle your car keys in your pocket. Or, ladies, look through your purse just real quickly while keeping your eyes on them and just find your keys in your purse and jingle them. Just jingle them a little bit. Not much. Once will usually do it. It's a subtle psychological cue that it's time to go. We need to pack up. We need to go. Not that you're going to go anywhere. Okay? But it is a psychological technique to kind of like indicate this is the end and we're going to begin something new called leave. So just jingle your keys. Try it. It's worked for me. Number 2, excuse yourself for interrupting and say, hey, I love where we're going with this conversation. I want to continue it. Let's continue it after the event. Because I can tell you've got a lot more that you want to say, and I want to hear it. But I think we should make the most of our time here and meet these other great people that are here. Don't you think? Come on, let's go mingle and talk to some other people. You can come with me, or you can go and I'll go. You go that way, you go east, I'll go west. You know what I'm saying? Another mistake. Avoid debates, arguments, and getting upset. Now, I know that seems like an obvious thing too, but check this out. Everyone can have their own opinion, absolutely. Just don't bring up passionate topics or points of view that might either lead to ruining a potential contact or your own enthusiasm for networking with other great people. For example, when networking at an event, politics might not be a good topic to bring up per se. It depends. And there's a rule about that, Never talk about politics or religion unless you really know what you're talking about. And then go ahead and talk about it. And I kind of learned this myself. Well, I didn't learn it, but this is just me. But whenever I talk about politics, because maybe somebody actually will bring it up and I'll have to kind of engage myself. Instead of making statements about topics that might be discussed, I'll actually pose questions. And by posing questions, I actually turn the conversation around to that person talking about politics, and they actually have to put their thinking cap on. And sometimes, many times, I stump them. And they're kind of like, well, yeah, okay, well, yeah, all right, well, hey, Bart, it's really great talking to you. Yeah, I'll see you later. Yeah. So in a roundabout way, I kind of squashed that discussion without me being the person saying, I'm right, you're wrong. No, I just I used questions to put the onus back on them to sort of explain why they're bringing up this topic. And then they kind of ran into their own wall in their own mind and said, I don't think I can respond to this. Okay, Bart, hey, it's really nice meeting you. All right, well, I'll see you later. Okay, good, bye. So everyone has their own opinion, absolutely. Just don't bring it up. Stuff that, at networking events, we're supposed to have fun. And the last thing we want to do is, get into some kind of debate talking to people. Stay on topic and choose to keep every conversation positive and focused on moving forward, finding out how we can help each other and ourselves at the same time. If someone says something that you disagree with, you might reply, I see your point. I'm glad to get another perspective on what you're talking about. Now, you may not understand every speaker's point of view, but you can respect their thoughts and ideas without compromising your own values. While politics is a hot topic these days and other issues, networking, again, should never be a place to talk about those things that people really have polarizing points of view. Stick to the agenda or the topic of the networking event, have fun, meet people, and see how you can still help each other. That's the most important thing, helping, not arguing or getting upset. I've been at events where somebody said something that upset me. I just had to kind of let it roll off my back and just say, okay, that's them. Can I still help them? I will try. Here's something that we all need to be mindful of and not make this mistake. It can happen sometimes with our language or what we say. Careful not to offend. We live in a world today where many people are kind of hung up on political correctness. But the rule here. Be kind, be positive, be courteous, and don't say things to people that might offend them or make them feel badly about themselves. I'm not talking about, appeasing them or trying to, tiptoe, walk on eggshells. We just want to keep all our conversations focused on the topic at hand and make the most out of what you can do and learn and use to your advantage to help them and help yourself. Caution: if you feel compelled to tell a joke, just know that humor does have its place, but it can also backfire, because I've seen that happen too. If you're using it to underline a key point or message, then hey, humor can be very often, helpful. It lets people see your human side and keep your audience's attention. But it's worth mentioning to those who need to know, but avoid questions about weight, age, wow, are you expecting? Congratulations. Oh, you're not pregnant? Some women tend to put on weight to where they might look pregnant, but they're not. And I bring it up just because I've actually looked at some women and I thought, should I ask? Should I, So, it can be embarrassing for both of you. Remember that movie, if you've seen it, if you remember it, 2 Weeks Notice with Hugh Grant and Sandra Bullock? There was a scene where Hugh's character congratulated a woman on being pregnant, and she replied, "I'm not." Later in the movie, she was, and he didn't mention it. But you get the point. Don't ask if you don't know. Let them kind of volunteer some information. Or remember what I said earlier about keeping your ears open more and your mouth closed more? Because by listening to conversations that people have, you can pick up tips, words, ideas, facts, stats, things that are going on in their life without even asking. So here's an example of what we mean when we say, watch yourself so don't offend. We were invited to attend a networking event in Los Angeles by one of Noah's friends. And when we showed up at the event, we almost didn't go in. We just didn't like the place we were walking into. The place turned out to be so-so, but the people proved to be fantastic. The host assured us he was looking for a new location for his next event. Lesson: after the event, instead of speaking negatively about the logistics, we actually just kept our mouths shut and overlooked the location and how it was kind of being conducted, and we just focused, very laser focused on the people. Had we prejudged and not gone into the event, we would never have met all those exceptional people. A week later, the host was able to find a much better location. We gained a friend, and he gained 2 new fans for his networking organization. Another mistake some people make is they complain. So don't complain or sound like you are. Nobody likes to hear someone go on and on about something negative. In other words, no one likes a complainer. So here's a tip. Lead by example and never be a complainer. Don't bring up your personal laundry or somebody else's. Don't complain about an event, the food, the people, where you'd rather be. I've been to events where I was hanging out with some people and they were complaining and about something. Waste of time. My time is precious. So is yours. You never know when you might be offending someone who has a connection to the event if you complain. Remember what Mama said. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. So zip it. Zip the lip until you can discreetly zip out of there. Get out and get away. And then you can complain on the outside. But while you're on the inside of the event, be on your best behavior. I know, it's hard. Been there. I can relate. Another mistake some people make, they don't speak loudly enough or clearly enough when they're talking. Now this applies if you're asked to form a big circle and tell the crowd about yourself. Take a deep breath. Raise your voice a little to a level where you can be heard by the group. When you speak, look around the room and pause to look at each person, or at least one or two. People will appreciate and feel as if you are addressing them personally. You're also energetically connecting to them, a good thing. Remember, what kind of impression do you want to leave? If you want others to understand your message, you decide what and how you will make a first and lasting impression with those you meet. You want to be remembered for your entrance into the conversation or the introductions as you are making yours, and the last thing that you say to people on the way out the door. After all, you drove all the way to the event, you paid your door fee to get in, and you've got your story to tell. Be proud, be loud. If it's, you're talking to a group, be heard. Not too loud, but be heard and be clear so that people can hear you and understand you.